Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna make a Mexican fritters. So let me cue the ingredients. Right, so for my ingredients we're gonna use about half a kilo. Alright, so for my ingredients we're gonna use half a kilo of flour, all-purpose, 3 whole eggs at room temperature. Also 1 tablespoon of baking powder, any your brand. Also a pinch of salt. And then we're gonna need the zest of the citrus, either orange or mandarin. Also for our water, we're gonna need 1 cup of water, about 4 tomatillo husk. This is the green tomatillo, the Mexican tomatillo. So you're gonna peel it like this and use the husk. We'll reserve the husk for this dessert. So if you don't have it, that's fine. You can always omit it. That's fine. And also, this one you save it for a salsa later. We're gonna need some powdered sugar. This is gonna be at the end, just to dust it. And also, we're gonna make a syrup with piloncillo. This is the piloncillo. This is a cane sugar. Or you can always substitute brown sugar if you don't find piloncillo. So it's gonna be about half a cup. And then star anise. It's gotta be 1 to 2 star anise, but I have only 1 here. And we make some ponche for Christmas, so I utilize most of my anise. So that's why I'm reserving my ponche water. The ponche is a fruit punch that we drink in holidays. It's hot, with a lot of fruit, you know, water, cinnamon, a lot of flavors on it. And then we reserve the juice, whatever we have left. Then we can always use it like, you know, a cold drink, a tea. So in this occasion we're gonna use 1 cup cinnamon stick, 3 piloncillos, and we're gonna make a syrup out of it. And also to finish our buñuelos or fritters, 1 cup of sugar, and then about a tablespoon or to 2 of the ground cinnamon. And also, I almost forgot, 4 ounces of butter. This one we're gonna melt it and we're gonna add it to our mix for the dough. So I'm gonna come back and give you the next step. Right, so what we're gonna do, we're just gonna warm up our water just to heat them up a little bit. So 1 cup of water, the tomatillo husk, just to, you know, so where you can handle the heat. And then just lower it, put them on the side. Just like that, low heat. And then we're gonna put the ponche here. If you don't have ponche, you can always just do water. That's not a big deal, okay? But just because I forgot that I don't have enough star anise, but my ponche has the anise flavor, so that's why I'm doing it like this. But if you don't have the ponche, then it's gonna be 2 star anise, the cinnamon stick, the 3 piloncillos or cane sugar or brown sugar, half a cup, and then make a syrup out of this. Low heat. In the meantime, we're gonna start doing our masa. So let me give you the next step. So after you have your egg already mixed, then we're gonna add the the butter with the water, the husk water. And also what I did, I put 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract to my butter. But that's gonna be optional, okay? So we're gonna incorporate it here. Same thing. I'm gonna mix it. And I'm gonna come back and show you the next step. Okay, now we're gonna add the water, the husk water, as we need it. And start kneading your dough. So you're gonna knead it until it comes like a pizza dough. So we're gonna come back when this is ready and show you the next step. So we're gonna add the water as we need it, okay? And also we're gonna need some acai flour on the side, about 1/4 of a cup or so, just to adjust the kneading. But how do you know when your dough is ready? When you see that it's still sticky. So as long as it doesn't stick to your hand anymore, that means that dough is almost done. And then if you need to dust it a little bit, just dust it. Okay, just like we're making any pizza dough, basically. Then we're gonna let it rest. We're gonna do our testales, which is the little portion balls, and we're gonna let them rest until they, you know, settle for about half an hour or so. And then we're gonna come back and start rolling on. So after you have your dough like this, that you can stretch it like a pizza dough, it's not breaking anymore. This is the way it's supposed to look like, when, you know, to be sure that it's ready to be stretched out or cut it. So now you're gonna portion it. You can do about 2 ounces, and you can always use the mozzarella method when we make the fresh mozzarella or the pizza dough, just like that. And then we're gonna let it rest for about half an hour or so, room temperature. Just make sure that you have a consistency on your testales, so that way you have enough for everybody. And we're gonna cover it with a napkin or with a bowl. Okay, you can put them here, dust them a little bit, and then keep them covered. So we're gonna come back in about half an hour. Also, we're gonna need a frying pan. Could be a pot or a sauté pan with about half a liter of oil or vegetable oil. So we're gonna come back, put this one on, and then we're gonna start making our tortillas for the buñuelos. So as you can see, our syrup is almost done. Most of our piloncillo starts to melt all the way. You can always add cloves or a piece of ginger also, or the 5 spices, but it's gonna be optional, okay? And the thickness that you wanna do, that's gonna be optional too. Remember, this is a cane sugar, so it's gonna get a little bit thicker than normal sugar. So you give them the consistency that you like. So it's almost too runny, so we're gonna let it nappe style. So in the meantime, we're gonna have our frying oil. You can use vegetable oil, corn oil. It's gonna be optional. Right, so after you have your dough already resting, now we're gonna stretch it. You can stretch it different ways. You can do it by hand, just like if we were doing a pizza dough. So you're just gonna stretch it like this by hand, or like the grandmas used to make it before with a pin roller, so that way you have evenly tortilla, so that way, and then you can always stretch it by hand. So you can do it like this, and then stretch it by hand. You can always use the bowl to stretch it, and then we're gonna have our hot oil working. So I just put one for a test. So what we're gonna do, you can use a bowl, and then you can stretch it on the bowl, just like this. It's gonna help you to hold it like that, and then you can make it as big as you want, as thin as you need it. So just like that. And then you're gonna do all your fritters or buñuelos, and then you can always stretch it by hand, just like if you were making pizzas, and then put them on the side. You can make it as thick as or as thin as you want. Also, here, let me show you this one. So you're gonna have your hot oil. Make sure it's hot. This one was a test only, but as you can see, it's nice and bubbly, and that's what you want, the bubbles. And then when this is almost done, we're gonna do our dusting sugar, which is gonna be the cinnamon and sugar. So the cup of sugar, tablespoon of cinnamon, and then we're gonna mix it. So this is gonna be to dust our buñuelos or fritters. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna have a rack. So where we're gonna dust it with the flour, with the sugar. See, like this. This one is almost done. And this is the color that you want. Nice, light, golden brown. So put them here, and then dust it with the cinnamon and sugar. Okay, all around, and then you just let them over here. Let them dry. Let them drain. Basically, you're gonna do the same thing all around. And also in Mexico, they have a different way to stretch the dough. Usually the grandmas, they were doing it in the sitting down. So they call buñuelos de rodilla, which means the knee fritters, because they were stretched on the knees. So they were sitting on the, around the table and stretching the dough like this, and they will have a clean cloth on the right here, and they will stretch it like this. And that's why they call it buñuelo de rodilla, the knee and the buñuelos, the fritters. And they will stretch it like that, have all the buñuelos, so you can do like that, like grandma used to make it, or more like this, which is the same thing. This is gonna resemble the knee, and you're just gonna stretch it out like this. Okay, just like that, like that. And if you want a consistency all around, then you do a pin roller, so that way it's nice and flat, but evenly. Okay, so just like if you were making tortillas de harina or flour tortillas, even the Indian bread, like the Navajo bread, same thing. So just like that, and then you can always stretch it by hand a little bit more, and then it goes straight to the oil. And you stretch it, you can rip it a little bit for the salt. And then you just with a spoon or a bamboo skewers, you press it down, just like that. Okay, nice and fluffy. You can always use a spoon or ladle to put some of the oil on top. You can always use your spoon, push it down, and do this. Okay, flip it over into golden brown, and then you're just gonna do it all your fritters like this. Dust them one by one, and this was basically they're done. So I'm gonna come back and show you the final results. Right, so this is the color that we're looking for, just like this. Make sure you strain the oil out, and then dressing, dust it with the cinnamon sugar all around. And we're gonna let them strain. Okay, so you're gonna have like this, and then we're gonna come back just to finish and add the syrup on top. Okay, so this is our final presentation, and then you can dust it with powdered sugar or more cinnamon sugar, and you can always make it a la mode, make it more nicer, So I'm using a apple pie ice cream. You can always use any ice cream that you want. Same thing with the syrup. You're gonna let it reduce to the thickness that you like, And then you just pour this on top, some on the ice cream. Hopefully you guys like this video on how to prepare the Mexican buñuelos or fritters. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Chef Alex Perez on Facebook, Chef Alex Perez on YouTube. Follow me on Chef Alex Perez on Instagram, 34. And happy Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, Happy Holidays. Also don't forget to share, subscribe, and enjoy. So let's quality control this baby. Look at this. Oof. Thank you guys. Feliz Navidad.